Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another StarCraft 2 cast by myself, Marsh. This is a replay sent in to Reddit's Castit. If you want to get your games cast or casted, depending on what the correct conjugation of that verb is, you can send them in to Reddit's Castit, and a member of the community such as myself, or maybe possibly somebody actually talented, will cast it for you. For today, we have my very first Archon mode game I have ever casted. So, considering I've noticed in the past that my map awareness and my multitasking is not fantastic, this is possible to be very, very fun. Anyway, on this side we have, I suppose, two people I should have read the name of before I logged in, and oh, I suppose this will help. And EZcheesy. Right, I wonder what we can expect of these guys. On the other side, we have Perseverance and myself. Well, there's a lot of eyes, so I'm assuming the guy is called myself. So, the difference between my normal cast games and this will be that there is the possibility of a lot more action. Two players commanding the same units means that, well, generally, at least in this case, one guy will make sure the macro is done correctly, whereas the other guy will do the micro. Meaning that at any point in time, one guy should be attacking / defending. Now, this is by no means the only way of doing this, but this is kind of the way people sort of set it up most of the time. And we do have 4 Zerglings coming in, hoping to tear down this supply depot before it finishes. But there's a Reaper there to take care of that. You can look at that. You can see that there's macro going on the other side, and in the meantime, whoever the micro player is on the side of Ended and EZcheesy pulls back his wounded Zerglings one by one to make sure that they still do damage, or they don't die, stay alive at the for the maximum amount of time, stay active. Now we'll see what the game sense is of Perseverance and myself, as speed for the Zergling is about to finish and they will absolutely lose this Reaper. Yep, they do. And now we have an awful lot of Bailings coming in here, but with 2 Marines. Oh, is this going to be a drop? Very possible. And what are you going to do with this? He's pulling his SCVs. With the drop, he is going to be able to pressure 2 sides at the same time. Yes, he does have a bunker over on this side, but this Overlord is going to just drop these in his base, well, most of them anyway. And 2 Marines in a bunker, that's not going to be enough to hold this off. Pulling in his SCVs, who do take care of most of these Zerglings, but there is a second drop being done. That is the bunker we really should have built first. And so yes, he does move his Marines to the second bunker. You don't want to move them quite that far out. Leave them vulnerable to that. Oh, and look at that micro as the blue Zerg pick up and drop the Zerglings on top of the Marines, negating that ranged advantage that Marines have over the Zerglings in order to get them in melee range, which is of course where the Zerglings are quite a bit better than Marines. They are supposed to have, you know, knives at the end of that Gauss rifle, but you don't really see them using a lot. Look, you can see them here. See them here? There's a knife, quite a big one. Alright, so we have stabilized a little bit, but there is a speedy Overlord here ready for another drop. We do have Terran making sure nothing weird like that does happen. Focuses on one, and in the meantime the second one drops him on it, and in order to, as I said, optimize that melee damage, but at the same time also dealing with trying to deal friendly fire, I suppose. There's a ping here by Perseverance, or by somebody. No, it was a blue ping. So we do have Bailings now being loaded in, which is a good choice, seeing that siege tanks were in position to take care of any Banelings trying to come up and dealing with these supply depots. Now we've got Zerglings coming in, being dropped on one, and that Viking able to be deterring those. But at the meantime, we do have a very possible Baneling drop on top of the mineral line, and the Red Terran doesn't respawn, and this could be, it's just, yeah, that's not good. I was not paying attention to see exactly how many of these were dead before this started, but yeah, that's killed a lot. There's pretty much every game I casted this guy Perseverance, who has contributed to castit on a few occasions. He just loses his workers. This guy needs to work on his on his worker defense. He needs to get some insurance or something. I don't know. I don't know how you deal with workers keeping dying. But if I was space construction vehicle driver in the universe of Perseverance, I would not be signing up for working his crew. Alright, how many overlords do we have now which are capable of dropping? Well, there's this one, and there's this one, but this one is being driven off, okay. And we have a Tinkovac drop by the Terran in order to try and sort of maybe distract the Zerg a little bit. But with his queens in position, no, this is too far away, can't really do anything about that. One roach and one queen does shoo it off. Put down the next creep tumor in order to get that speed and get that vision. And where did these go? I did totally miss that, as I said would happen. More pings over here, telling the micro player where the Banelings are being morphed, and this tank is still trying to be quite annoying. It's got 3 kills now, and he should get this queen as well, and with that he should be able to be quite a bit more annoying than he has been so far. That's a corrosive vial, but it doesn't hit because there is a guy permanently. Damn, this is tricky. Another Baneling drop to contend with, but whoever the other player is does keep his Tinkovac alive and make sure that these corrosive vial do not take down this quite pricey combination of Medivac and Siege tank. 2 more. You may want to try spreading these out. Anyway, we've got 35 workers for the Zerg, and we have 17 for the Terran. Now, mules are good, but they are not quite that good. There is a very strong defensive position right here, if nothing decides to drop over through this canal. Oh, and if he shot just a little bit earlier, it might have been able to deny this third. But it doesn't. Ooh. Takes care of quite a few Zerglings there. And nothing to see up there, so these guys can't make any shots. Ooh, I think one of those hits the Medivac. Checking to see if there is a third being made, and there isn't even one being made in base. Pumping out 2 SCVs at the same time though. Oh, and now we have 2 Tinkovacs being maneuvered in place. If that's the same guy, we may see some mistakes being made. There are, however, 2 players, and I suppose if they're good enough, and I think Perseverance, what I've seen so far, he was in either Diamond or Master, so he's not shit. Should be able to take care of this. Oh, and now he's got to... Oh yeah, this is an interesting way to deal with it. picking up these Ravagers in order to chase the tank. Now where did this second tank go? I didn't lose it. Nope. Trying to prevent, or preventatively putting down some corrosive biles where his opponent is going to be. Oh. And you are now going to have to drop these two as the Vikings shoot away these Ravagers in. Okay. Now, there's enough of an army out to be cautious for the Terran. There's enough roaches there. They're just the two Ravagers, but there's also enough Zerglings. But he does poke forward as you're like, you know what? 2 bases, you're fine. You're allowed to have 2 bases. I'm not going up there. This Viking, 6. This Viking has killed 6 overlords. Well worth it, I suppose. And now possibly goes back in order to patrol this area, make sure that nothing weird happens there again, because in the meantime our Zerg could have just loaded it from up here instead of what he's been doing from up here and just flown all the way there with the speed overlords. That is not something that's out of the realm of possibility. Taking care of his 8th overlord there. As the Zerg does move in on quite a few siege tanks, and he does catch one of them, as there are only enough medevacs, or there were only enough medevacs to lift up 3. Oh, and Perseverance and myself managed to dodge those corrosive bile very nicely as they run these down, letting only 3 of them escape. 3rd base on location for the Terran, and no 4th base being taken yet for the Zerg. And now there's a push coming in through that narrow choke point, so if he does have any Ravagers, he can make this very hard for the Terran. And he's got to Hydralisk to take care of this Viking, but he doesn't decide to really do anything with it, and he allows him through this choke point uncontested. Yes, he does. Oh, no, he doesn't. He does secure this choke point. No, he lets the Marines through. Possibly into a trap. He does have speed banelings. They, I should say, have speed banelings. And the Terran decides that's too many. I don't feel comfortable that, and he does pull back. Does pull back just in time as well to catch up with these 4 roaches if he so chooses. No, doesn't see them moving by. Yes, does, moves back. 4 roaches, enough to one-shot SCVs, but at the same time 4 tanks, quite enough to kill roaches in turn as well. And we have a drop coming into the main of the Zerg, and the Zerg is moving out entirely the other direction, meaning that these 16 Marines have just free reign of the Zerg's base as he splits his attack, not entirely on the layer. Oh, that was a very nice bailing hit. Oh! 2 hit points. Oh, you might have wanted to kill 1 or 2 Marines on that. I think that would have been well worth it. Lurkers are good units, and they have quite a bit of range, but so do siege tanks. Siege tanks have even more range than Lurkers. And the Terran can choose to move in here. Ooh. There's 3 tanks there quite closely. If he just dropped those things there, he would have been able to kill at least 1 or 2 of them. Oh, we've got workers trying to move through. We've got a big attack, and this is enough Zerg to scoot this away. The Terran picks up and moves away. Now we've got a fourth up for the Zerg, but in the meantime we have a fourth being taken for the Terran, and any early discrepancy in worker count is completely gone now, as the Terran is on 59 and the Zerg is on 50. Now we've got these two drops back in the base, ready to kill this lurker then, maybe, possibly. Wait, okay. I'm not sure what this SCV is doing there, but he's very important. As the Terran loses his medevacs and loses his marines as well before they kill this lair. But still, that was the Hydralisk / lurker den, meaning that the Zerg no longer make these units. And we've got, well, we've got second attack on the way for the Zerg and ready now. Oh. And we've got, I don't know, we've got a good defensive position set up here for the Terran, with the possibility to collapse here from the outside, as the two siege tanks do quite a bit of damage, but do not hold off this Zerg force. But we do know they come in from the other side, and corrosive bile. Oh, those were some nice corrosive bile shots, taking care of, I think, 2 medevacs, but now pincered these marines with 2-1 upgrades. Just melt this 0 armor upgrade Zerg army. Fourth up and fourth up. This coming into oh, an orbital command. I was maybe expecting a planetary fortress there. But we do have superior income for the Terran, and have had for quite a bit of time now. Now we have no army for the Zerg and 84 for the Terran, meaning that the Terran can just move in here. Oh, and yes, Banelings are very good against Marines, but not if you have a tank covering them, because they will, I was going to say, just murder these Banelings, but they decide not to. Let the Banelings connect to the medevacs with the Marines even. But there is nothing left. That is GG.